Good afternoon, everyone. So we have discussed Unit 2 and Unit 3 in the previous impetus classes, that is defining the research problem and sampling design. So we have almost covered about what is data collection, the data collection through primary and secondary contact or the means of collecting the data, then selection of appropriate method for data collection. So instead of going with Unit 4, that is survey research or an overview of the name of survey errors and all, I am planning to go with Unit 5 since this is very important for the report writing, the thesis writing of your MTech, and some important part of intellectual property rights. So I'll cover this part and then go with Unit 4 maybe in the next sessions. So coming to Unit 5, Module 5, you have got IPR, that is intellectual property rights. So what is this intellectual property rights? So before going with the PowerPoint presentation, we'll just go through the notes. So already I've shared this PDF with you people. We'll discuss the basic things on this. That is IPR, invention and creativity. What is intellectual property right? What are the subcategories in that? A brief summary of patents, copyright, trademark, industrial designs, geographical indications, then establishment of WIPO application and procedures. This is very important chapter, you can say, most knowledgeable and more helpful in the future. Fine. Invention and creativity. Invention may be defined as the idea of making a new or useful article, method or substance. Fine. Invention is creation of something that has never been made before and is recognized as a product of some unique insight. Creativity is the capability of act of conceiving something original. Innovation is implementation of something new. So when you are talking with intellectual property rights, especially patent, copyright or trademark, invention and creativity plays very important role. Okay. When you are talking about invention and creativity, it is something new that you are finding out from your own idea with your own source. Fine. And that you are going to product it, commercialize it, then implement. So that all comes under this intellectual property right, patents, copyright, and some logos. I'll talk with some logos and brands. Fine. When we are dealing with invention and creativity, it is beyond the things or beyond the field which anybody can do. It is, you don't have any restriction to the field, or you don't have any restriction or rules or regulation to that field. Clear? So this invention and creativity is something which anybody can do. You may not have degree or no, or your idea is something new beyond the syllabus or beyond your knowledge level or beyond your degree, it is acceptable. Clear? So this invention and creativity plays a very important role. Okay, even before the independence, you can say, and after independence, or the present modern situation, 21st century, this creativeness and invention has got its own importance. But the problem with this creation and invention was, it was not product applicable or commercialized these many days, or it may not be applicable in the market, or it was you didn't had a recognition. That was the problem. Okay, you had a product and it was supposed to get to the public, or it was supplied to the public. But now the government has made some set of rules, regulations, some set of properties where you get your credit, you get your royalty for your own invention. It may be in any field, any area, as I said. So that royalty, that award or reward plays very important role. Okay. Now we have got proper set of rules, guidelines, which you can have your own name to that product. Okay. What is intellectual property? Intellectual property refers to original creativity of a creator. Okay, it is some originality that is being created by a creator. It may be in the form of literary, artistic work, books, music, paints, technical or scientific creation, design, symbols, names and images, any kind, anything which is new idea, new born, then it all comes under intellectual property. Okay, it is an asset of a person, it is his own property. None of them can touch it without his own permission. So that comes under intellectual property. It is a legal concept which refers to creation of a mind for which exclusive rights are recognized. Okay, it is now it has become a legal thing. Okay, it is creation of his mind for which exclusive rights are recognized. A set of rules, guidelines are given to that. Okay, and only the owner has got his right to share with the others. Okay, that is what in third point says. The owner has the right to prevent the unauthorized use or sale of the property. Clear? It is intangible, it cannot be defined or identified by its own physical parameters. Then an intellectual property must be expressed in some discriminable way for enabling it to be protected. Okay? So what are these rights? What is this intellectual property right? It refers to some legal rights to the inventor. It is given to the inventor or a creator to protect his own invention or creation for a certain period of time. You have got set of period of time, maybe 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. So you have got license. Fine. You have the creator or inventor has got a license. He has got set of legal rights that nobody can touch his asset. Clear? Also, IPR enables them to reap commercial benefits from their creative efforts or reputation. If possible, he can go for commercialization with his own permission. Clear? Without his permission, you are not supposed to touch his asset. Okay? It is one of the strongest tool you can say. It is protect investment, time, money, effort invested by the inventor, because any creation cannot happen with these things, right? Time, money, effort is very important for any of the creation or invention. So for that, he needs his own grants. Clear? An exclusive right for a certain period of time for his creation. He wants his royalty, he wants his recognition. So these rights will help them to protect his product. These legal rights confer an exclusive right to the inventor, creator, or is assigned to fully utilize his invention creation for a certain period of time, which is licensed. Okay. What are the importance and protection? Okay. How these protection rules or guidelines or importance of this IPR will help that person. Okay. The knowledge of intellectual property right is must to a common man. Okay. Very essentially, recognized and acceptable all over the world. Owners are granted certain exclusive rights and variety of intangible assets in the area of musical, literary, artistic work, discoveries, invention, whatever, phrases, symbols. Now, if you go for a shopping, you can find out the new things there. You find t-shirts, you find jeans, you find some shoes. You can see the symbol, the product, clear, and they are copyright, or you can say they are patented, or they have got their legal rights. Okay, that is licensed one. You can say those symbols are licensed one. So this property has economic value and protected against these laws. Okay, the objective of intellectual property right are to grant incentive to creator of an work. So he has to get his profit out of his invention. He has to get some sort of percentage, some sort of royalty out of his invention. So these property rights will help it to get his own contribution. IPR play a very important role in the progress and development of society by promoting healthy competition and encouraging industrial development and economic growth. So once this set of rules, guidelines are set, then you can see that there is no crime, there is no fight, right? Then there is no discriminancy, there is no bifurcation, because once it is licensed, the person has got his own right to deal with that. So ultimately what happens, a healthy competition arises in between a district, in between a people, in a community, in a countries, in state level, whatever. The competition level increases, industrialization and economic growth can happen, because the product is more new, or more newer idea is been implemented by creating this product. Okay. Under these rights, intellectual property can be bought, sold, licensed, or exchanged. This can happen. All right. Any product you take, it can be sold, licensed, or exchanged. For example, you have created some product, and if you want to commercialize and sell it to some industry, let them use and let them make a profit out of it, then you have got that right to share with them. Clear? You have got license to that product. You can share that product to them, saying that you can utilize this, you can commercialize this, okay, in my name, and my product will be sold or sold out in the market, and that sort of percentage is received from that industry. Okay. It provides a mechanism of handling infringement, piracy and unauthorized use. Nothing but some illegal activities are stopped when such mechanisms are, some set of guidelines are given. Okay. It provides a pool of information to the general public, since all forms of IP are published except in case of trade secrets. Clear? Some general public information are given and published except in case of trade secrets. So coming to the protection. The IPR laws provided a protection to owners under different categories and names: patent, industrial designs, copyright and trademark. These all comes under intellectual property rights only. They are categorized. Patents. Now you have got something new invention, you can patent it. Okay. If it is design related to applicable to the industry, then you can have industrial designs. You can have copyright. You can have trademark. Trademark, you can see many trademarks. So many companies trademark you can see which has been sealed on that product. With, okay, you can see the seal is put on that product. Types of intellectual property right. So common types of intellectual property rights, as I said, it is patent, copyright, trademark, industrial design. You have trade secrets, geographical indicators, layout design for integrated circuits and even ideas. Okay. Mainly they are divided into two categories, that is industrial property rights and literary artistic property right. Now for example, somebody has done art and he want to patent it or he want to make a copyright of it so that others should not copy. So that diagram or that figure is been given full rights. Clear? Industrial property right, what it deals, it play in economic role in production and distribution process. Certain innovations such as inventions, medicines, new plant varieties or new design which may be protected by patents, plant variety rights and design rights respectively. So here I want to give some example. Coming to this invention, this industrial property rights, medicine. If you take a neem tree, clear, we have got many number of neem trees in our country. So a small stick of neem tree causes thousands of dollars in America to prepare a medicine. Okay, recently the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi sir has put this point in one of his speech, saying that what was the cost of this medicine and what is the use of patenting, what is the use of these things. So this one small stick of neem causes thousands of dollars in foreign, in the America, but if you see the India, we have got number of trees, but we are not patenting it. We are not going with rights because we don't have that facility or that technology to make this our own property. Clear? In such a way, we have got many more examples related to even medicines, Ayurveda. So there is a case in a international platform that whatever the banana leaves we use for our food, okay, it was started from our Vedas itself. Clear? The banyan tree and many more Ayurvedic medicines, or you can call jadi booties or anything, even this tulsi or the other plants which normally we use for medicine. So they have to be made copyright or they have to be made some sort of guidelines so that should not be exchanged with other countries. So there are many more examples with this. Okay. Industrial property right may also apply to distinctive signs such as trademarks or geographical indications. While they are not true intellectual property rights, trade names and legal names also benefit from certain kinds of protection. Now, for example, if you go for any industry, they have got their own industry names. Okay, Indian Oil, okay, Bharat Gas, many more industry you take, they have got their own legal names and trademark. They have got their own symbol. So they are having their own set of protection. Most industrial property rights are obtained from formal procedure, generally consisting of registration, copyrights, then automatically the time of creation you get that permission. Okay. Coming to literary or artistic property, here they include literary work, paintings, sculptures, photographs, artistic interpretations, radio broadcasts. Why we go for copyright, why we go for intellectual property right is, this should not be copied by other people and you should not have any copy of that. That is the reason the inventor should get his own benefit, he has to get his own royalty. That is why this set of guidelines, this set of rules are posed. Okay. So in case of literary work, in case of music, you can say, many people will go with the copying the music, alright. So that should not happen. So nowadays they have got their own agreements that music cannot be copied. Clear? For example, they have got their own tune and somebody stole that. This even happened with Basavana laws, whatever Basavana had given his vachanas, it was been translated and then put by some other name and they were supposed to get a copy of it. So such things can have copies or somebody will steal it. So these set of guidelines or set of rules will help to protect such properties. Okay. So what is patent? Patent is awarded for invention which satisfy the criteria of global novelty, non-obviousness and industrial or commercial application. So the patent is nothing but just like your publication, you have your own license key, okay, that is called as patent. Patent is nothing but your own product. Clear? Here we have dealt with the different criteria of intellectual property right. In that you have got patent, you have got copyright, there are subcategories. Clear? The patent is exclusive right granted for an invention which is the product or process that provides a new way of doing something or offer a new technical solution to the problem. For example, if you have got any solution for very important problem which is going on in the country, then you can make a patent of it. For example, the recent problem going on is corona, and the person who goes and get the medicine for it or find out the remedy for it can definitely go with the patent because it is his own invention, his own idea. Now you can see there are many medical doctors or inventors, scientists are behind this corona disease. Day and night they are working in the research laboratories to find out what is this remedy for this. Okay, they are planning to get the medicine for this. So that can be accounted in patent. A patent owner has a right to decide who may or may not use the patent invention for a period in which invention is protected. So ultimately the owner has got right whether he can supply his work to others or he may not. Minimum patent is granted for 20 years from the date of filing the application of the patent. Once a patent expires, the protection ends and an invention enters the public domain. Then you can have it is exposed to the public. Anybody can use it. Okay. Until there, it is your own decision. The owner can either supply to the commercialize to the industry. He has got the right to do that. If not, he don't want to leak the formula, then it will be patented for 20 years. Then he is not supposed to give for anyone. It has been supported or it has been protected, giving the supports. Okay. So no product patent were granted from drugs and food items. Now again, there I think it has been started. The Patent Act 1970 amended in 1989, 2002 and 2005. Patent Rules 2003 amended in 2005 and 6. Patent administration in India is head office in Kolkata. You can find in Bombay, Delhi and Chennai. So there are many branches in India. Okay. This is about patent. Now what is copyright? Okay. Now for example, you give an undertaking letter that you are not going to misbehave in the college. Okay. That can become a copyright itself. Okay. Undertaking. Now copyright is a legal term describing the rights given to the creator for their literary and artistic works. The copyright holder has certain exclusive rights. These exclusive rights include copyright may apply to a wide range of creative, intellectual or artistic forms or work. Okay. It is you can say the legal term or a bond, you can say. The works covered by copyright include literary works such as novels, poems, plays, a reference work, newspaper and computer programs, databases, films, musical compositions, and choreography, artistic work such as painting, drawings, photographs, sculptures, all these things. The reproduction in various forms such as copying, printing, recording, public performance or adaptation are prohibited under these rights. Copyright does not cover ideas and forms themselves, only the form of or manner in which they are expressed. Okay. And industrial design. What is this industrial design? It consists of creation of a shape, configuration or composition of pattern or color, or a combination of patterns and color in three-dimensional forms containing aesthetic value. It can be 2 or 3-dimensional pattern used to produce a product. Even the traditional craft items like hand-woven articles like carpet, cotton bed covers can also be registered for protection as industrial design. See, it is taken from Canon 2010, where such types like hand-woven articles, maybe carpets, cotton beds, covers can also be registered as industrial designs. That all comes in this copyright. The protection is provided for 5 years and it can be renewed for 15 years. Okay. Next, trademark. Trademark relate to any mark or sign, logo. You can say the logo, the college has got logo, any brand of t-shirt, shoes, watch, anything. Any product you go, it has got its name, its sign, its design and logo. The trademark protects symbolic information that relates to goods or services. The trademark prevents competitors from using the same symbol. Okay. Now, for example, I have got my own symbol. Why I go with copyright or I go with intellectual property? Nobody should copy that. Okay. Now, Reebok has got its symbol. The Bata has got its symbol. Okay. Fastrack watch has got its symbol. Even name, sign, logo, anything. Okay. Trademark can be bought, sold, and licensed. Trademarks protect the names and identifying marks of products and companies. It can be patented like invention or design, industrial design. Okay. So what kind of trademark can be registered? Trademark may be one or more combination of words, letters and numericals, right? It may have combination of letters, words, numericals, Reebok, Bata, anything, any kind of trademark. They may consist of drawing, symbols or three-dimensional signs such as shape and packaging of goods. In some countries, non-traditional marks may be registered for distinguishing features such as holograms, motion, color and non-visible signs. Okay. Trade secret. What is this trade secret? It is a formula, practice, process and design. Instrument, pattern or compilation of information is not generally known or reasonably ascertained by which a business can obtain economic advantage or competitor or customers. Okay. This is one secret where confidential business information is put it in a competitive edge. For example, if any trade, for example, any business sector you take, any industrial sector, that is a trade, right? Where they have got their own secrets and they don't leak with the other companies or they don't share with the other companies, clear? But their formula, whatever they adopt in their industry or in their factory should be patented or should be copyright because they all come under this intellectual property right. So they have to take care and they have to protect it from the sharing with the others or get leak. Okay. What are those? Advertising strategies, list of suppliers, clients, manufacturing processes, maybe their secrets relating to some products, some manufacturing formulas, anything. Okay. So these all come under trade secret. Advantage of trade secret, no need to register, no limited in time, no disclosure, can protect unpatentable information, right? So there is no time bond, there is no registration, nothing, but it is being kept confidentially since it all comes under the global level picture, it all comes under financial sector and it is the competition. So that is why these trade secrets are maintained. Disadvantage. Cost of keeping it secret can be high because if the formula or the secret is not very important or very magnifying, so storing that, keeping it secret may become a disadvantage or the cost may increase. Others may discover, invent it independently. Once they come to know what is the their design, they themselves can go with their own idea. Others may patent if patentable. If the secret is embodied in a product, it may be reverse engineered, more difficulty to enforce. Okay. So these are some disadvantages of trademark. Next comes is geographical indicators. What are these geographical indicators? These are some name or signs used for certain products. Okay. For specific geographical locations or origin. For example, town or region or country, we use some geographical indicators. Okay. So they may act as certification that a product possesses certain qualities. Okay, it is according to some traditional method. So these signs used on goods that have specific geographical origin. For example, if you are getting some product from Haryana or you are getting from Madhya Pradesh, that state has got certain logo, that state has got some sign where you can easily identify that this product is from this state or this country. So that is called as geographical indicators. Okay, it indicates that the product come from certain place, has special qualities due to that place of origin, which could be a village, town or region or any country. You take for example apple, it is very famous Kashmir, right? Same way you take some sort of product, silk, Mysore. So you take Maharashtra, you take Andhra Pradesh, you take Karnataka, one or the other, you take a Kerala, one or the other, it has got a good quality in any of the product, in manufacturing or in any sort of agricultural, any kind of thing. Maybe they are growing good crops, they are growing fruits or any product. When the geographical indicator sign is given, they can easily identify that this product is from this place. Okay, it is an exclusive right given to a particular community, and thus the benefits of its registration are shared by all the members of the community. It may be used by all producers or traders whose product originate from that place and which share typical characteristics. For example, wine, okay, Bordeaux, Darjeeling tea, these are very famous, right? Saris, Chanderi, this Kullu, shawls and Tuscany, olive oil, okay. Most commonly a geographical indication consists of name of the place of origin of the goods, okay. Champagne. In some countries can also have figurative element, okay, Eiffel Tower, okay, they may put their own symbol, right? So that gives the importance of that city or a place, okay. Now you have got Mysore. When you say Mysore, it is Mysore Palace, we just remember. When you say the Bangalore, we have got Vidhan Sauda. So one or the other, if you pick any of the district, we have got district or state, it has got its one of the important feature, okay. In that way, the geographical indications can be identified. So now what is the difference between trademark and geographical indication? Trademark is one sign which is given to only company, goods or services, clear? Whereas geographical indicators are given to the consumer that a product comes from which place, okay, there is a difference, clear? The trademark is only restricted to that industry or factory. Geographical indicator is restricted to the town, village, entire city or district or state, okay, the place of origin of that product. So geographical indication may be used by all the producers or traders whose product originate from that place and which share typical characteristics. Okay, these are about geographical indicators. Next in intellectual property right comes integrated circuits. Okay, semiconductor integrated circuit is a product having transistors and other circuitry elements which are inseparably formed on semiconductor material or an insulating material. Okay, this is more relevant, more connected with the software part, okay, where the integrated circuit softwares are built. The initial term of registration is 10 years. Thereafter, it may be renewed from time to time. These are integrated circuits. Even you get rights to that. Okay. So here he has explained what is layout of design of integrated circuits, how it will be, and what are the rights given to that. Okay. Administration of IPR. Patents, design, trademark, geographical indicators are administered by the Controller General, where it is under the control Department of Industrial Policy and Promotion, Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Copyright is under the charge of Ministry of Human Resource Development. The Act of Layout Design of Integrated Circuit is administered by the Ministry of Telecommunication and Information Technology. Protection of Plant Varieties and Farmers. Right Authority, Ministry of Agriculture administers the Act on Plant Variety. So these are administration departments which take care of intellectual property right. Okay. So we now understood what is intellectual property and what are the subcategories in that. We have got trademark, we have got copyright, we have got patent, geographical indicators, trademark, all those things. Now comes with World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO. What they say is World Intellectual Property Organization is international organization. This is international platform where it is responsible for promotion and protection of intellectual property right throughout the world. Okay, this is patent, copyright. It is with respect to your own country. When you are going with WIPO, it is to the entire world, where it stands at international platform, your product. Clear? So it was established in 1970 by the Agency of United Nations. Since then, the term really began to be used in United States. The inventors and authors are therefore recognized and rewarded for their ingenuity. India is a member state of World Intellectual Property Organization. Okay. What are the objectives and main activities? What they do? WIPO is United Nations specialized agency that coordinates international treaties regarding intellectual property rights. 184 member states comprises over 90% of countries of the world, include experts in the diverse areas of IP law and practice, as well as specialists in public policy, economics, administration and IT. You can see 184 member states, around 90% of countries of the world are involved in this patenting thing, law, practice, in the case of economics, administration and IT. Member states participate in WIPO to negotiate treaties and set policy on intellectual property matters such as patent, copyright and trademark. WIPO was established in 1967 by WIPO Convention, which states that WIPO objective was to promote the proper protection of intellectual property throughout the world. Okay, it provides a stable environment, and international in the level of international platform, these keep set of rules and guidelines and protect those country property perfectly. Okay, the headquarters are in Geneva, Switzerland. Okay, WIPO currently administers 24 treaties and facilitates the negotiation of several proposed treaties covering copyrights, patents and trademark. Okay, so complete history is given, how it was started, where it was started, who was the Director General, all those things. Okay. So these are activity units, what activity they do, how procurement is taken place, and how member states are being selected to determine their budget, direction, their organization, decision making policies and all. Okay. And internship and fellowship programs. They even offer students for intellectual property and other branches of law. You can go ahead with that international platform and get the degrees. Young professionals with intellectual property background, graduates and other field interest to WIPO, they can go and get that coaching, get that degree and have their own professionalism, professional thing in intellectual properties. Okay. Some criteria are given, like age should be from 21 to 32 age, graduate or postgraduate student at the time of application, fluent English or French and working knowledge of other language, the demonstrable track record of achievement supported by copies of diplomas or certificates from universities and other specialized institutions are some sort of requirements needed. Okay. So employment opportunities is very good at that international platform, where even people go and get all these courses and get good knowledge, good thorough understanding of this intellectual property rights. Okay. So there's about funding agencies and all. Okay. Now I'll go with the presentation. Just to glance what we have discussed, then we can go with the report writing, the significance of report writing and all. Okay. So you can see the copyright, trademark and design. These are intellectual property rights. You can see some trademark are shown there. McDonald's, PayPal, right? Designs like car model, right? Copyrights like poem, literary work, graphics, sculpture works, all these things. Okay. Intellectual property may be either patent, geographical indicators or trade secret. You can see geographical indicator. For example, you get Kolhapur sleepers. It is famous at that place, right? Darjeeling tea, you have got that symbol. So this is how these geographical indicators are shown. Okay. So next we'll move with the next bit in this unit related to your report writing and interpretation, right? Data collection already we have dealt. Next we'll go with interpretation and report writing. So what is meaning of interpretation? Okay, once you complete your project or thesis, interpreting your statistical graphs or your experimental records is very important. What are the techniques in interpreting is important. Precaution is important. Then significance of report writing. Why we have to write a report? What is use of writing this thesis, right? What are different steps in writing report? Next, layout of research report, types of report, oral presentation, mechanics of writing a research report, precautions for writing research reports. So this is all connected with your thesis. So that is why I have taken this unit first, so that once we complete unit module 5, they can definitely go with module 4, where we have got some sort of errors there, survey errors, maybe administrative error, some sort of error when you are going with sampling design. So that case, that chapter we can take later. Okay. So we have already dealt what is this data collection and all. Okay. So directly I'll go with report writing. Okay. Interpretation and report writing. What is interpretation? It is drawing some inferences from your collected facts or your analytical or experimental study, in fact, in a search for broader meaning of research finding. For example, you have got some graph. You have to explain that graph in wording, how it has been, what is the behavior, how it has been explained. For example, I'll give you the stress strain curve for mild steel. Now we know that it has got limit of proportionality, it has got ultimate yield limit, it has got ultimate point, upper yield limit, lower yield limit, right, and breaking point. How this point were indicated? Depending upon the experimental study, we inferred the graph, we have drawn the graph. So once we draw that graph, we inferred that this was the point where what was actually happening was stress was directly proportional to strain till the limit of proportionality. In upper yield limit, the strain reduces and stress increases. There was the neck formation. So all those inferences we have done till breaking point, right? And we said there is a cup and cone arrangement, there is neck formation, right? That there is strain hardening takes place. So all those things, whatever we have interpreted from that stress strain curve of mild steel, simply drawing a graph will not give any sense. Now if that graph was drawn, how could the people understand what is that graph indicating? So now with that curve, with that point, easily it can be inferred that this is what happening in this area. So that is why in a broader meaning it is research findings. The task of interpretation has two major aspects. The effort to establish continuity in research through linking the results of a given study to those to the another, so that when you have studied and you have identified the things analytical or experimentally, that should be conveyed to the other person, the reader, where he should come to know that this is the finding, this is the concept. The establishment of some explanatory concept. So some explanation should be given to that figure or graph or table or any kind of thing. Okay. Thus interpretation is a device through which the factors observed by researcher in the course of study can be better understood, and it also provides a theoretical concept which can serve as a guide for further studies or further research. Why interpretation? For a simple reason, it is usefulness and utility of research which the finding lies in proper interpretation. It has been considered a basic component because the research can well understand what is the abstract principle work beneath his finding. But when he is linking up his finding with other studies, that abstract principle should predict in a proper way and convey to the other in a proper continuity. So that is why this interpretation is necessary. Next, some sort of explanatory concept, explanatory things should be provided, which provides as a guide for further research studies, or if some third person is reading, he should come to know that what actually the work has taken place. So that is why interpretation is very important. So researcher can better appreciate only through interpretation why his findings are what they are and other significance of his research findings. The interpretation of findings of exploratory research study often results in hypothesis for experimental research, and as such interpretation is involved in transition from exploratory to experimental research. So these all understanding and conveying that message in a form of explanatory concept is very important. The technique of interpretation often includes a reasonable explanation of the relation, what he has found, right? In a diversified, he has to explain it and generalize the things and concepts, then he can publish. Okay. Extraneous information, if collected during study, must be considered while interpreting final results, and key factor in understanding problem is is under consideration. Before going with final conclusions, he must consult someone who is insight, who is thorough in that concept, who is frank and honest and will not hesitate to point out omission and errors. Okay, so he should purify that observations, he should purify those discussions, and then you come to the conclusion part. Okay, a researcher must accomplish the task of interpretation only after considering all relevant factors affecting the problem to avoid false generalization. He must in no hurry while interpreting results, for quite often the conclusions which appear to be all right at beginning may not all be accurate. Okay, that is why this is very important. Precautions in interpretation. One should always remember that if data is properly collected, analyzed, wrong interpretation would lead to incorrect conclusions. For example, if data collected is correct, but your analysis is wrong, and your interpretation will go wrong, and your conclusion might give a false concept to the others. So that is why this precaution should be taken care in interpretation. Okay. At the outset, researchers would look after whether the data collected is thorough, okay, whether the data collected reflected is homogeneity, proper analysis is done or not. For example, we people normally go with some software part which we don't know what software is doing. We give some input, it will give some output, right? So when you are giving some input, if you make some small error, or you have not converted the units, or the data is wrong, of course it will analyze and give you the result, and from that result you plot the graph and give the conclusion. But the problem is the input data itself was wrong, then whatever the result it has given will be wrong, and till the end of your work everything will go wrong. So that is why precaution in interpretation is important. That should happen with your research literature. Clear? When you go back with your literature and theoretical findings, you just correlate what you have done and what the literature is saying. Then you get a proper judgment, proper idea what exactly you can conclude. Clear? The researcher must remain cautious about the error that can possibly arise in the process in interpreting. So eliminating error is important. Misleading in the concept is very important, that you have to take care. Clear? And wrong information, transferring the wrong information to the conclusion part should be avoided. All those things should be checked. Clear? He must take precautions concerning the reliability of data, computational check, validation, comparison of results. So these all steps need to be thoroughly carried out, and precaution should be taken care. He must never lose sight of the fact that his task is not only to make sensitive observation of relevant occurrence, but also to identify and disengage the factors that are initially hidden to the eye. Clear? Any aspect or any factor is insignificant or it is left out should be taken care when he is doing these things. Okay? Significance. What is significance? A research report is considered a major component of research study. For research task remains incomplete till report has been presented or written. As a matter of fact, even the most brilliant hypothesis, highly well-designed and conducted research study, and most striking generalizations and findings are of a little value unless they are effectively communicated to the others. So there is a sort of significance in report writing. It is not well served unless the findings are made and known to others. So the report writing is very important. When discussion part goes correct, report writing will be correct, right? Different steps in writing report. You have got logical analysis of subject matter, preparation of final outline, preparation of a rough draft, rewriting and polishing, preparation of final bibliography, writing the final draft. So these are steps in writing research report. Logical analysis of subject matter. What you have to do? You have to have basis of mental connections and association between one to the other by means of analysis, logical treatment in developing material, and simple possible to most complex structures should be taken care. Okay. Preparation of final outline. In the next step, outlines are the framework upon which long written works are constructed. Okay. Later you have to go with rough drafting. Rough drafting is nothing but you are generalizing your findings, you are sorting out to some smaller sentences with some useful information. And again you are going with rewriting and polishing the draft, where you are checking grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, all those things. Next you are going with final preparation of bibliography, where it is appended to the research report a list of books in some way pertinent to research which has been done. It should contain all those works which researcher has consulted. The bibliography should arrange alphabetically, may be divided to two parts. The first part may contain name of books, pamphlet. Second part may contain name of the magazine or newspaper. As we put references, all the papers we make a list. Same way, preparation of final bibliography is done. Okay. Next. For books and pamphlets, the order may be as under, okay, name of author, last name first you have to put, title underlined to indicate italics, place, publisher name, date of publication, number of volume. Example, you have seen here, C.R. Kothari, as we are using this textbook now, we are referring to this, you have to write Kothari C.R., then quantitative technique, their publication place, then it comes to the publishing house, Vikas Publishing House, Private Limited, and year. This is how you have to write. Okay. For magazines and newspaper, the order may be the name of the author, last name, then title of the article, name of periodical, underline to indicate italics, the volume or volume number, date of issue, the pagination. Okay, you can see one example is given, Robert Ruza. You have to put in double apostrophes, copying with short term, international money clause, London, the year, okay, the page number, everything. So last comes is writing the final draft, which includes everything. It should be concise, simple language, okay. You have the expressions such as it seems, there may be, and like ones, those some technical terms should be taken care. You have to use such things, okay. What is layout? Layout is nothing but these are guidelines of preparing the report, okay. Preliminary pages, starting you have got some pages, then you come to main text, then you come to end matter. In the main pages, you have got preface, forward, just like you put acknowledgement, you put declaration. So this comes here. Main body, you have your introduction, your statement of the problem, the results, your analysis, summary, conclusion, all this comes in the main text. Okay. Introduction, it should have clear statement of objective, a brief summary of relevant research, the hypothesis of the study, the methodology adopted, statistical analysis, scope of the study, and boundary lines. Okay. Statement of findings and recommendation. After introduction, the research report must contain a statement of finding and recommendation in non-technical language summarized. So results will come, then implication of the results. Okay. Then comes end matter. Last you have bibliography. It is nothing but you have got references part. You have to list all those references which you have referred. Okay. Now types of report. You have got two types of report. One is technical report. One is popular report. Whenever a full written report of study is required, it is kept for a record in public dissemination. It is technical report. Popular report is a research results having policy implication. Okay. So technical report, it will have methods employed, assumptions made, detailed presentations, all those things. Then you have summary of results, nature of the study, method applied. So these are just a layout, the things what you are going to include. You have got data, you have got analysis of data, then conclusions, then come references. Okay. So technical appendix, if you have got any appendix, you can just put, then comes index part. Okay. Popular report is one which gives emphasis on simplicity, attractiveness, and policy implication. The operational point of view, avoiding the technical details of all sorts to the extent possible. The simplification should be sought through clear writing, minimization of technical, particularly mathematical details, and liberal use of charts and diagrams. Okay. Attractive layout along with large prints, many subheadings, even an occasional cartoon. Now and then is another characteristic feature of popular report. Clear? Then these are some general outlines of popular report. What it consists? It consists findings and their implication, recommendations, objective, method, result, technical appendixes. It is somewhat it follows technical report. Okay. Oral presentation. Oral presentation is one where the results of study is considered effective, particularly in cases where policy recommendations are indicated by project results. Okay. The merit of this approach lies in the fact that it provides an opportunity for give and take decisions, which generally lead to better understanding of the findings and their implications. Okay. But the main demerit of this sort of presentation is the lack of any permanent record concerning the research details, and it may be just possible that findings may fade away from people memory before action is taken. Okay. So oral presentation is effective one, supplemented by various visual device. You can go with PowerPoint presentation, you can go with conference, you can go with Skype, right? So that oral presentation is very important, and for academic as well as industrial sector, it is very important. Last bit is mechanism of writing a research report. So it should be very definite and set of rules should be followed. For example, physical design, the unruled paper rate and ½ inch, 11 inch. So the margin is given. If it to be handwritten, blue or black ink should be used. Margin of at least 1.5 inch should be left at left hand. Okay, at right hand ½ inch. Okay, top and bottom you have to use 1 inch. Okay. Procedure, various steps in writing the report should be strictly adhered. Layout, objective and nature of the problem, it depends. Treatment of the quotation, you can use footnotes, footers. Then you can have documentation style. Okay. Then you can go with use of statistic charts. There are many softwares where you can draw the graphs. Even in Excel we do. Final draft, bibliography and preparation of the index. Okay. So precautions of writing research report is, while determining the length of report, the length should be kept in mind. It should not be long enough to cover the subject but short enough to maintain the interest. And research report should not be dull. It should such that sustain readers' interest. Abstract terminology and technical aspects should be avoided in a research report. It should be able to convey the matter very simple, and as I said, some sort of things can be changed, like it seems, you can use there may be. Okay, acquiring a quick knowledge of main findings, and reports provide a great availability of the findings. Charts and statistical fibers of various results in main report. Addition of summary of important findings should be done. These all comes under that part. The report should be free from grammatical mistakes and prepared strictly in accordance with techniques of composition of report writing, such as use of quotation, footnotes, documentation. The report must present the logical analysis of the subject matter. It must reflect a structure wherein different pieces of analysis relating to research problem fit well. Okay. Appendices should be enlisted in the respect of all technical data. Bibliography of sources consulted is must for good report. Index is also considered. Report must be attractive in appearance. Calculated confidence limits must be mentioned. Okay. So these are the precautions, the interpretation, writing the research report, all those things. Okay. One small bit is left in this chapter, that is multivariate analysis. So in the next class, in the next session, I'll go with multivariate analysis, explain that. Then we'll go with the error, unit 4. Hope this PDF I have shared with you people, where you get the easy sort compared to the textbook. You get straightforward definitions and straightforward notes. The interpretation part, why interpretation is needed, techniques of interpretation, to the point it has been prepared. It is just like PowerPoint presentation. The same wordings I've used in PPT. So it is better to refer this rather than going with CR Kothari textbook. Okay. So everything is included here and neatly it has been prepared with point wise it is discussed. Okay, technical report is given, your popular report. Okay, PhD thesis is also mentioned in this, how it should be. Okay. Thank you.